Yep, folks, do not get mad at me, right? It's as simple as it comes, clear as it comes. We are hopping into the philosophy of demons, right? Let me just find out something real quick. Let me see if my AI is tapped in, right? Let me see what you thinking.
Hey there, Sizway.
Yeah, co-pilot. What is the philosophy of demons according to you?
In many mythologies, the philosophy of demons is that they serve as symbols of moral conflict and cosmic balance. They are often seen as tempters or agents of chaos, challenging divine order and human morality.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Let's hop in.
So when she said she wanna die and he see she ain't bluffing, so he held her to the skies, cried sour momentum, passive with goodbyes. I'd rather you tell him, but now the truth is I've digressed from all the feelings, so it's forever though. Like my mama's son was missing, ain't no telling, do they love or did they kill him?
Oh, hell yeah. As the title suggests, bro, the philosophy of demons. Now, not the philosophy of demonry. I feel like there's a difference between, you know, the philosophy of demonry, the philosophy of demons. I don't know, like, I don't know what's making me confident about that take, but I feel like there's literally a difference, right? There you go. Wait, let me explore that one real quick, just before, you know, just before we proceed though.
Hey there, Sizway.
Yeah, co-pilot, just distinguish for us real quick the difference between the philosophy of demonry and the philosophy of demons.
The philosophy of demonry generally deals with the study and understanding of demonic practices or the conceptual framework around demonic entities. On the other hand, the philosophy of demons focuses more on the nature, characteristics, and theoretical existence of the demons themselves.
Okay, cool. Now, with that base in mind, right, we can proceed, shall we?
A demon doesn't knock, it doesn't scream, it doesn't wait in fire. A demon waits in silence, in a thought you refuse to name. It's the choice you never admit you wanted. We've made gods in our image,
Yep.
but it's the demons that look like us. If you too made gods in your image, check out Pantheon, our brand inspired by myths, legends and folklore. We ship worldwide and are rated excellent on Trustpilot, link in the description.
Shut up. I think that might get me stricken, man. Alright, let's do it.
We live in an age of information. We've mapped the brain, modeled the universe, explained away the soul. We know that voices in the dark can be hallucinations, that obsession is chemical, that what once looked like possession is now a diagnosis. And yet, somehow, we still believe in demons. We say we don't, but we act like we do.
Nah, but I'm not gonna lie, bro. Imagine a world, right? Hold on. Y'all know I gotta get close to y'all when I talk to y'all. It's just that it's finna be slow these days because half of my screen is blacked out. You feel what I'm saying? Let's do it though. We here though. Look, bro. I feel like, yo, imagine. Well, yeah. Try and imagine a world where, like, the concepts and the realities of religion didn't exist. Okay, cool. Look, I feel like for one, yes, we would have a lack of order in the world. Let me explain, right? Because religion has introduced to us, you know, certain ways in which people can be orderly in terms of be that poking energy, you know, at your morality. Once you know you're not doing the right thing, and having those standards of what is the right thing and what is the wrong thing. I mean, at a human basis. You know what I'm saying? So now imagine but then you know, it is at the same time the reason why even the world of demons exists, because we think of places like hell and the hosts of hell. You know what I'm saying? So it's only religion that you think of. That's the one thing that comes into my mind. when we thinking of you know, demons and hell and things. It's nothing but religion that introduced these kind of concepts, right? I'm just saying, I feel like, yo, there might have been a possibility of a reality where, yes, we know what's wrong, right? Wait, where we know what's wrong, but then at the same time, knowing what's wrong would require us to know what's right or be aware of what's right at the same time, right? Okay, you know what? I feel like it would have been the same concept of like, because when we now start to conceptualize what's wrong and what's right, we do have to introduce the element of just judgment, right? Like judgment where if you have done what's wrong, you are worthy of punishment. You know what I'm saying? Concepts like this inevitably just like yeah, become manifest. You know what I'm saying? Like they just become part of reality. So now, damn, I guess, yeah, I guess existence was always doomed for a reality of demons, man. Or of hell, right? Because when we think of having to do what's right, there has to be what's wrong. There has to be like that opposite comparison to it. That's how we know it's what's right, right? The wrong has to, it exists inevitably. You understand what I'm saying? And so with that in mind, there has to be the hosts of these of these energies. There has to be like gatekeepers of these energies, which are the demons. The gatekeepers of negative energies, dark forces, right? What's morally wrong. And the platform that hosts that reality. I don't know if y'all, you know what I'm saying? Hold on. Let me not really, let me not lose a whole lot of y'all, man. We just got here, right? We just got here. I'm not gonna lie, I fuck with the graphics on this. It's crazy.
We speak of temptation like it's a force, of addiction like it's a thing with teeth, of rage like it belongs to someone else. We say he wasn't himself. Something came over me. It's like I was possessed. Even in our secular world, the language of demons survives. In recovery rooms, in therapy, in courtrooms. We invoke them whenever we confess things we cannot explain, when we feel haunted by something we can't name, when the worst parts of us start speaking in our voice. And we see them on screens, in horror films and crime documentaries, in music.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I used to be the biggest fan of horror films, right? I don't know, put it in the comments if you're a fan of horror films, bro. Horror films was my shit, you know what I'm saying?
And memes. The forms have changed, but the silhouette...
Oh, don't even get me started on that drill music, right? Drill music. Come on, man.
...is the same. Something that tempts, corrupts, twists. Something that breaks the rules of human behavior and makes it look easy. This is the paradox. We claim no longer to believe, and yet the idea won't die. Science has dismantled the world we used to fear, but not the fear itself. Psychology has given us better models, but not better monsters. We still need something to explain the feeling of being torn in two, of acting against our better judgment, of falling again into something we swore we had left behind. So we give it a name. We call it a demon. We need to believe that evil has a source, that suffering has an architect, that the choices we control might not be ours alone.
Yo, look, at the same time, right? I feel like it's only a it's only part of human nature for us to give form to you know, anything that we encounter, whether, you know, no matter how intangible it is. Because now when we're talking about energies that we cannot control, I feel like, to me, right, that is what a demon is for you. A force that like overwhelmingly just, you know what I'm saying, that whole talk of like, yo, something came over me, you know what I'm saying, like I couldn't even handle myself, like I don't know what happened, you know what I'm saying, all of a sudden the bullet was in that motherfucker's chest. I don't know what happened. I blacked out. Come on, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you get people that have those kind of habitual episodes of those kind of energies where it's like, yo, they end up giving it a, like, it's only natural for you to give it a form, a structural perception to it, like something where you can have structure to it, like give it character. You know what I'm saying? Give it like a persona. You know what I mean? Depending on like just how your psychology works. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel. You feel me? So like, you end up calling it demons. You might just have specific names for it. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God. Gonna be stuck, man. For a little while, brother. Okay, cool. Now we good. But yeah.
And this isn't new. Even the skeptics were haunted. Descartes, the father of rationalism, imagined an evil demon deceiving him, feeding him lies, making him question the very ground.
Feeding him lies. Making you question things about yourself. Right? So we personify, we humanize these energies. And therefore, you know, it's only right that you call them demons. Come on.
His existence. Spinoza denied the devil entirely, but couldn't banish fear. Hobbes rejected the supernatural, yet still demanded punishment for those who believed in witchcraft. The Enlightenment killed belief, but fear didn't die with it. And where fear survives, demons survive. So maybe the question isn't, do demons exist?
What is it?
Maybe the question is, why do we keep resurrecting them? If we no longer believe in hell, we still believe in falling.
That's what I'm saying. Like, hell must have been a concept that was introduced by something that's not it. Something that's beyond it. You know what I'm saying? What else besides religion? I'm saying.
We use the word demon like it's something fixed. Like it's a species, a category, a label you can slap on whatever haunts you. But the truth is, the word never held still, and what it describes has changed with every culture that's tried to control it. In ancient Greece, the word was daimon, not evil or even hostile, just other. Invisible spirits that moved between mortals and gods, influencing fate, whispering intuition. Plato thought they shaped our destiny. Socrates claimed he had one, a voice that warned him when he was about to stray.
Oh shit, a voice, right? And how many times do we hear things about, yo, a voice in my head told me, yo, a voice directed me. You know what I'm saying? This voice, bro.
Trusted it. The daimon was conscience.
Diamond.
But long before the Greeks, in the fires of Persia, a different story was being written. Zoroastrianism gave us the deva, spirits who turned against truth and sided with the lie. Good and evil were forces, and in that system, the deva.
Oh man, I'm not gonna lie. I heard that devas are like gods that don't care about being worshipped. Like they're not attached to the idea of being worshipped, but they still are like deities. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me just confirm with Copilot right quickly.
Hey there, Sizway.
Yeah, Copilot. As per I think the Veda.
What would you like to do?
Whoa. Check. Let me tell you what I would like to do. I would like you to tell me what devas are, as per, you know, the Vedas scripts and ideologies.
In the Vedic tradition, devas are considered benevolent supernatural beings, often described as heavenly or divine entities. In the earliest Vedic literature, there are 33 devas mentioned, known as the Triastranchita. These devas represent different cosmic forces and natural elements, and they're grouped into categories such as the Vatus, elemental energies, the Rudras,
so
forces.
What's the one most important characteristic about the devas?
One key characteristic of the devas is that they represent different aspects of the natural and cosmic order. Essentially, each deva embodies a force, like the sun, the wind,
well, you know, I've heard that the devas are, you know, deities, or you know, supreme figures that don't care about being worshipped, or are detached to the idea of being worshipped. They just rule. Is this accurate?
In Vedic thought, yes, the devas are indeed like cosmic administrators rather than deities who crave worship. They symbolize forces of nature and moral order, and they maintain balance in the universe without attaching themselves to the idea of being worshipped. So yes, in a sense, they just carry out their roles and don't really depend on human devotion.
They just get to work, man. Put your head down, get to work, and not, you know what I'm saying? Not be attached to the result. They just, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, well, as per my understanding of what I've bumped into about the devas, feel me?
Became the enemy. Traitors. That idea bled into monotheisms. In early Judaism, Satan was a prosecutor, a function. He worked for God, testing, accusing, forcing uncomfortable truths into the light. But over time, the courtroom became a battlefield, and Satan changed roles.
For real?
Christianity took the rebel and made him central. The demons became angels who fell, corrupted by pride, cast out by wrath, now feeding on the souls of the weak, architects of ruin. The whisper became a scream. Islam took a different path. The jinn were older than mankind, made of smokeless fire, and just like humans, capable of good, evil, belief, and doubt. Some whispered lies, some told the
Capable of good, doubt, evil, and lies. I think that's what I heard, right? Don't let's hear it.
older than mankind, made of Satan changed roles.
Oh,
Christianity took the rebel and made him central. The demons became angels who fell, corrupted by pride, cast out by wrath, now feeding on the souls of the weak, architects of ruin. The whisper became a scream. Islam took a different path. The jinn were older than mankind, made of smokeless fire, and just like humans, capable of good, evil, belief, and doubt. Some
good, evil, belief, doubt. So that's how they categorize, well, demons. It's actually the presence of these sort of, misalignments, right? Good, evil, belief, doubt, right?
whispered lies, some told the truth.
Some whispered lies, some told the truth. They're energies of darkness, but they can tell you the truth. Nah, we have to, you know what I'm saying? We have to break down what these, jinn, right? According to the Hindu religion, you know what I'm saying? But this does say something about what they're capable of too. They can tell you the truth. Truth what leads to light. So what, they're the aspect of darkness that wants you to be propelled into the light. Know what I'm saying?
Some refused to bow. The Quran describes them as free.
Yep.
And that freedom, that refusal to be one thing or another, made them dangerous. So already we've fractured the meaning. In some traditions, demons are rebels. In others,
rebels. That's what I wanted to. Well, my whole mindset was, stubbornness. You know what I'm saying? Because stubbornness is the negative aspect of what you can, categorize as resilience. You know what I'm saying? Or persistence. You feel me? This sort of, because, okay, look, how I see it is the fact that these, things like resilience versus stubbornness, you know what I'm saying? Persistence versus just like toxic attachment, you know what I'm saying? Like, these things are two extremes of the same aspect, of the same coin, so to speak. You understand what I'm saying? So a demon can actually reflect sort of like an angelic aspect of things. You know what I mean? So like if a demon just is reflecting whatever is negative, so manipulative or whatever, right? There's a sort of an angelic opposing or polar aspect to it, right? An angelic polar aspect that just like is about being authentic and being about just I don't know, leading you towards truth, or whatever the case. You know what I'm saying? But these things, they have to, like, one has to exist because of the other. You know what I'm saying? Like, the one cannot exist without the other. It's sort of like that yin yang POV that I got about it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Nah, that's literally what I wanted to point out. So, oh my god, yep. As I told y'all, man, hear me. This is about to be a problem. You know what I'm saying? For a little bit more though, but we finna get it fixed.
Servants. Some
My display screen is just like, it's dying on me slowly. So bear with me, please.
fallen angels, some are fire spirits, some are illusions, and some are mirrors.
Some
Even
are
in
illusions.
philosophy, the word sneaks in. Descartes, trying to strip reality to its core, imagined a being, a powerful deceiver, capable of manipulating all his senses, feeding him falsehood as truth. He called it the evil demon, a conscious malice behind perception itself. It was a thought experiment, but he didn't imagine.
So the evil demon. You know why that jumps out to me? Because aren't demons supposed to be evil by default? Why did you have to say evil demon? Are they good demons? You know, there's deep significance in the language that somebody chooses to use, man. It's like, yo, the evil demon. Well, where the good demons at? Like, what are we talking about?
A trickster god or a flaw in the matrix, he imagined a demon.
Yeah.
Even at the height of rationalism, the shape of fear was still theological. So what are we really saying when we say demon? We're not describing a species. We're revealing a framework, a cultural operating system for naming what we fear, what we hate, what we don't understand. Sometimes it's a voice, sometimes it's a being, sometimes it's just a feeling that doesn't belong to you, but uses your face.
Oh shit.
The word demon has always been elastic, but its function is consistent. It names the source of our moral discomfort, our forbidden
Moral discomfort and what?
curiosity.
Forbidden curiosities. Forbidden pleasures. Oh shit, that might be the good demon. Damn, wait.
Our shame.
No. But that is ignorant though, because even your guilty pleasures can destroy your life. That's a fact.
Demons appear where boundaries break, between heaven and earth, between mind and madness, between what we want and what we're willing to admit. The Greeks honored them, the Zoroastrians exiled them, the Christians declared war on them, the mystics invoked them, the philosophers used them to test reality, and we inherit all of it.
Oh shit.
So we ask again, what do we mean by demon? We mean whatever scares us most, when we realize,
damn. Oh, damn. That's a beautiful way of rounding it up, man. It's whatever scares us most, bro. I could feel that. It's whatever scares you the most. You know what I mean? Because obviously whatever plants the most fear in you, in your heart, you know what I mean? That's what's gonna be a derivative of what confuses you, right? It comes from what confuses you, because once you get confused, you know what I'm saying, you know, you don't move in confidence. It's like moving in the dark. You don't know what fork on the road you're gonna, like, you know what I'm saying, step on, as a result of the fact that it's dark. So it's like you don't know what path to take. You're confused, right? That's a negative. That scares you. Monsters in the dark. Woo! Right? Something that what can I say? Something that kind of controls you. Now, to a degree, something that controls you, because you don't, you cannot predict, you cannot predict its influence on you. You cannot predict its effect on you, and at the same time, you may perceive yourself to be so superior, against that thing that you literally see yourself having no power. He literally spoke about, the overriding of boundaries, something that just like overwhelms you to a point where you feel like you're boundaryless against it. You understand what I'm saying? So that might scare you. So it's what scares you the most, man. Come on, let's do it. I like that. Right? That's a demon. That's a demon. No. But you know, nah, I feel it. I get like I kinda, you know what I'm saying? I see the kinda path that you're taking with it. So yeah. You can go on, Professor.
It might be part of us. This belief in demons is born from a deep wound. The presence of evil in a world governed by a supposedly good, all-powerful God.
Yep.
Every theological system that asserts divine benevolence must confront this contradiction.
For real.
If God is omnipotent, then nothing happens without his permission. If God is good, then evil should be unthinkable. Yet the world bleeds. It always has. And
Yeah, there's an oversupply of all that evil stuff, right?
so a third
At least it
category
seems like
emerges. Not divine or human, but other. A necessary adversary.
We back? We back? Mic check 1 2. Alright, let's go.
The demon. In Christian theology, this is the problem of theodicy.
What is it?
How to justify the ways of God to a suffering world. And the question isn't new, and neither are the attempts to answer it. Augustine of Hippo, writing in the aftermath of his own spiritual crisis, offered one of the most influential responses. He insisted that evil was not a substance, not a thing in itself,
What was
but
it?
merely a privation of the good. Like darkness in the absence of light, or silence in the absence of sound. God did not create evil. Evil is what happens when created beings turn away from the source of all goodness.
Wait, so does that mean the beings create the evil instead of God being responsible for the evil? Well, yeah, God is according to the point he just made, right? Then God should be responsible for the evil, because that evil might just be a side effect of what you done created. But then that being a side effect, it means you couldn't control the thing because you're a God of goodness, right? No, but that's according to the point that he just made. Now, if we consider the fact that God does have these dark aspects to it, right? I only point this out in this way because that's only how I see it. You know what I'm saying? This is subjective, right? I don't even see God as him or her, because now once we point out the fact that it's a him, we exclude the whole her aspect of being, of human being. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to think about that. We exclude the woman because now we've made it about male or female. So now woman belongs to the female aspect of things, and that's excluded. How you think they're gonna react? You know what I'm saying? There's this divide that happens, and I don't think the idea of God is to divide. It's to be all inclusive, because now we're talking what is it? It's an omni being, right? So it includes all things. You understand what I'm saying? So now that's why I say it, because when we say it, everything may be included, him and her, male and female. You know what I'm saying? And not even just limited to the humans. I'm talking all beings, male and female aspects of things. You know what I'm saying? And so therefore, with that being said, even when it comes to good and bad, all inclusive, buddy. You know what I'm saying? All inclusive. And yes, I feel like, people who are attached to the moral good, I mean, that's only fair if we want to maintain law and order amongst civilization. You know what I'm saying? Let's create a sense of what is good. And so with us creating a sense of what is good, the opposing aspect will exist by virtue of that, because we're gonna have to compare it with something to know that this is good. So aka bad will exists, right? But then now I feel like with human beings there is a hyper focus on, you know, just focusing on just being good, like in terms of that you only want to be sensitized to the positive aspects of life and all of that, and, you know, disregard or be avoidant of what's negative. You know what I mean? In the sense that, you know, being aware of what's negative, especially about you, can help you understand yourself deeper. You know what I'm saying? That's why I feel like it is the work of God for you to even do things like shadow work. You feel what I'm saying? AKA, you know, be conscious or meditate on the fact on the darker aspects of you, on the darker aspects of society. You know what I'm saying? So that you know where you play your role and contribute in the negative outcomes of things like your relationships in your life breaking apart. Come on, let's be real. You know what I'm saying? And that could actually be translated into you being aware of these demons within your own self. You know what I'm saying? I feel like with that in your own mind, encompassing all things in that way, you know what I mean? Not just being like, yo, nah, I'm only morally good, I'm only da da da, you know what I mean? There are narcissistic aspects about you. You know, aspects about you where, like, if you're not in the, whenever you're not in the room, people speak down on you. Come on, bruh. That's facts. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, like, you know, have that on your back the whole time and just like be paranoid the whole time. But it's like, you know, the more you push that whole church morally sound, like, kind of image, you know what I mean? There's also like the ego, just, you know, what has to be part of the ego, and then there's the aspect of that of, you know, just saying, nah, I just want to keep myself in line. There is an authentic aspect to, you know, being the religious guy and wanting to, you know, maintain or retain the good aspects of just your character. Shine, you know what I mean? Be the good one. Be the good boy, the good girl. You feel me? Everybody got demons at the end of it. Face it. You mean?
But even Augustine could not escape the gravitational pull of myth.
What you mean?
Although he stripped evil of its substance, he still gave it agency. He spoke of demons, fallen angels driven by pride, exerting influence over the world, whispering temptation into human hearts. He reduced evil to a metaphysical absence, yet personified it at every turn. The logic failed, but the narrative survived. People fear presence, they fear malice, they fear will. And if demons possess will, if they choose, plot and act, then we are no longer talking about shadows. We are talking about enemies, which forces a harder question. If God created beings with free will, knowing they would become evil, does he remain good? Or is this evil part of the design? Origen of Alexandria tried to sidestep the problem. He believed all souls were created equal and good, and that demons were simply those who had fallen furthest from the divine. Their rebellion was a matter of degree. Crucially, he also believed in apokatastasis, that eventually all souls, even Satan himself, could be restored. That evil, no matter how deep, was not final. But this idea that the worst could still be redeemed was too radical for the institutional church. It removed the concept of eternal punishment. It weakened the moral binary. It turned demons into fellow pilgrims. So Origen was condemned, and the door to restoration slammed shut. Evil had to be permanent, irrevocable, useful. Thomas Aquinas
Useful. You know what I was thinking? I was actually thinking, yo, evil became a business, yo. You know what I'm saying? Evil became a business. People started to integrate the fact that, yo, we can actually make a profit out of OF demons. Come on with it. You know what I'm saying? You know, people can make a profit out of just like, Okay, I don't want to say it out loud because literally my video got you know, stricken. It actually got blocked, because you know I covered this topic, but I'm gonna spell it out. Hopefully it doesn't violate TOS when I express it like this, right? GAMBLING. God damn, you know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. Like, people saw, you know, profits that could be generated out of like you know, the darker aspects of life. I mean, that's why we even have the dark market, the dark web, people selling drugs and shit like that. You know what I mean? Even the legalization of vices that could be, you know, that could lead to harm or long-term danger, aka alcohol. You know what I'm saying? Aka tobacco, nicotine, shit like that, right? Even recently, the legalization of ZA. Hello, what the hell are we talking about, man? You know what I'm saying? So to an extent, like, people kind of just, you know what I'm saying?
Centuries later cemented this necessity. He argued that angels, including the ones who fell, were created with perfect knowledge. Their rebellion was a decisive, irreversible act. Once fallen, their will was fixed. They could no longer repent, no longer change, no longer be saved. In this view, demons became locked antagonists. Their evil eternal, their function stable. The system was preserved, but at the cost of freedom. A being that can never change is no longer free. This tension reappears in Islamic theology. Iblis, the one who refused to bow to Adam, is often cast as a rebel. He disobeys because he knows best. He was made of fire, Adam of clay, and to him, that made him superior. Pride again. But the Quran introduces a deeper discomfort. In Surah Al-Hijr, Iblis says, "My Lord, because you have led me astray, I will surely tempt them. Because you led me." The implication is chilling. Iblis becomes the tempter only after being assigned the role. He acts with permission. He corrupts with divine sanction. And this is where dualism begins to seep back in. Officially rejected by monotheism, it still returns in function. Evil is too coordinated to be a mere accident, too persistent to be human alone. The Zoroastrians embraced this head-on. Ahura Mazda, the god of light and truth, stood eternally opposed to Angra Mainyu, the spirit of deceit and destruction, two principles locked in war. Monotheism denied this framework, but it could not escape its utility.
Principles locked in war, meaning, you know, they had opposing viewpoints. These principalities, these principles being kept in the mind would like result in, you know, opposing energies, bro.
Without a real enemy, the moral drama collapses.
That's how demons go to war with one another.
So demons became necessary in service to his order. They tempt so we may resist. They accuse so we may repent. They punish so justice may be felt. They provide the contrast that makes righteousness meaningful. Without them, there is no crisis, no choice, no salvation. But this solution creates its own paradox. If demons are necessary, then evil is part of the design. Theodicy becomes theodrama, a stage in which demons perform the horror required to make the good shine brighter. They are actors, essential, bound, and doomed. Which brings us to the final fracture. Are demons truly agents, rebelling against the will of God, or are they instruments fulfilling it? If they are agents, then God is not in control. If they are instruments, then God is complicit. There's no clean resolution, only a question that gnaws at the edges of theology.
Oh shit, no.
A question of why demons exist and why they are useful. And, if they are useful, then who exactly do they serve?
Yep. No. I feel like they serve the self. They serve the self, like in ways that, you know, the vessels that host the demons, right? the vessels that host these kind of energies would rather keep it in the darkness. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, they're there to serve the self, where it's like there's the standard that's kept by society in terms of what's expected of you to be seen as a decent human being, you know, behaviors, you feel what I mean, ways of thinking, you know, that could there's standards. But then I feel like the human goes beyond, you know, the human is sensitive to you know, even dimensions. Let me not, like, I want to pick my words because I don't want to come out fake deep or whatever the case, right? But it's like the human is tapped into energies where, you know, if you would come out with that kind of thing, like in the public, you would be like criticized harshly for it. You know what I mean? For example, you might get somebody who's so tight, who's so mad at the world, and would be like, yo, if it were up to me, if I was God, bro, one Thanos snap away from just like extincting half of humanity, like I would do that in a, and then, you know, you would ask that individual, yo, let's say 80% of your family is wiped away in that Thanos snap wipe away of half of humanity, right? Would you still do it? Be like, man, in a heartbeat, buddy, I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are so messed up towards life, you know what I'm saying? They blame life so deeply to a point where it's like, yo, if they had the power, these guys would do the, you know, the most atrocious of things, bruh. You know what I'm saying? But then it's like, yo, you wouldn't express that you know, willingly like that. You feel what I'm saying? Maybe you might express that to a therapist or some shit. But even there, you know, once we get to that decision made, you know what I mean? It's like we tryna like fix it. We tryna do away with it, so to speak. We tryna heal it, so to speak. We tryna let it have a different POV so that whenever we get triggered, we don't feel like killing half the world, right? We're trying to transmute the energy at that point. So we're trying to do away with it, essentially. Right? I don't know if I made sense there. Yeah, it might, you know, we might just hop into the word from our sponsors, actually.
The figure of the demon is often framed as a destroyer, a corrupter, an agent of chaos. But when we begin to examine the intellectual traditions behind the rebel, the tempter, and the accuser, we discover something far more nuanced.
What do we discover?
They are the personification of disobedience, the embodiment of moral friction, and in many traditions, their rebellion is less about violence and more about vision.
Right.
Lucifer, before he was the devil, was the Lightbringer, a name that suggests illumination. His fall is triggered by pride, but not the kind associated with vanity. It's metaphysical pride, the refusal to accept a place in the created order. He wishes to ascend closer to God, to be as God, to know as God. His crime is aspiration. His punishment is eternal exile. In this framing, rebellion is a philosophical stance, the assertion of self against the totalizing will of another. Iblis in Islam occupies a similar but distinct role. Created from fire, he's asked to bow to Adam, a being made of clay. He refuses from a belief in his own superiority. He reasons that fire is more noble than earth, and therefore sees the command as flawed. His logic is sound, but obedience is demanded. And when he refuses, he is cursed.
Yeah, now on that note, man, as I said, bro, let's go ahead and hop into, you know, the sponsor's word for the day, man. Let's go, let's get it.
Never seen was once